Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's Wednesday, 6:30 p.m. CT, and it's time again for a LinkedIn Live. So today, my topic is the power of negotiation. It will be a really short and sexy one. So, for all of you who are tuning in, welcome, and I'm looking forward to your questions, to your comments, or whatever is coming up on your mind towards the power of negotiation. I'm happy to hear this as well. So, who am I? My name is Lily. I'm the CEO of Knowledge Consulting, and I help decision makers like you to develop your B2B business in the food and beverage industry. And this, tada, what a surprise, with the help of LinkedIn. Business development and leadership strategies are definitely their game changers and require a concrete approach. I think you, as a decision maker, would agree with me. And many B2B businesses shy away to get a consultant, or I would call myself change agent. And I know that, and that's why I am providing fair, implementable, and customized solutions to your challenge. So if something has resonated with you, then please feel free to get in touch and let's figure out how I can support you on your way to success in the B2B business of food and beverage. And as mentioned, the topic of today is the power of negotiation. So, first of all, what is negotiation? Where do we negotiate? And why is it so important to be powerful in this kind of skill or tool or whatever you want to call it? Um, the negotiation, or we are negotiating all the time. So, it doesn't matter if we do it at work, it doesn't matter if we do it privately. And here's the main question: are you a problem solver or are you a solution provider? Because it is important to make a choice here, as it has a great impact on your negotiation game. And talking about negotiation, the funny fact is that 90% of all people think immediately about price. So, negotiation, bam, what comes in your mind is price. But this is wrong, because it's not only the price, the package and the benefits, they make the difference here. And what is also interesting and important, negotiation starts like with how you show up, not only in the process of talking about the deal or not talking about the conditions. It starts in the first 5 seconds. So when you are entering the room, or your physical appearance, your aura of authenticity. So do you have one? So are you perceived as a person of um, authenticity and a person of um, being an expert as well? Also, how do you look like? What do you say and how do you talk? These are also really important steps in the start of a negotiation. So, really, in the first 5 seconds, or today in the morning, I learned in the first 4 seconds, this is already decided. Yeah. So, how the negotiation will continue or how the negotiation will end. So, if you have not convinced the other party in the first 4 or 5 seconds, then it's better to walk away and not to start this negotiation game. And it's really important to walk in, have eye contact, and never be salesy. So don't be salesy, be genuine. Yeah? And also, what is really important, most people are persistible. And as a good negotiator, you ask the right questions. And the more people talk, the more you are in the game or in control of this negotiation. And I know, I mean, you have heard it many times. So the magic of 5 yeses, so make the people say 5 times yes. And you can do it even with really easy questions, or just asking, "What's your name? Is your name Mr. or Mrs. Schmidt?" Yes. So then you have the first yes. So it's psychologically important to have this nodding and agreeing with you, and then in the process, the people are more prepared, so to say yes to the offer you have, or to the point you guys are negotiating. And what is also important is to figure out, so where are you? So who is your negotiation partner? And also figuring out where does the meeting or the negotiation take place. So if you are talking about in-person meetings, then here secret advice is dress 50% better than the people and be prepared. So you can really take the people out of guard if you are really prepared, that you know everything about the deal, the person, the company. So this will really help you to get ahead of the game. And I have a comment from Mikey saying change is the only constant. That's why it's great to have a change agent on your side. Absolutely. Yeah? So we have decided to call ourselves now change agents. So we have been searching for a good word of it, because we bring the change to your company, we bring the change to your departments, we bring the intrapreneurial spirit into your departments, and that's a great yeah saying. And also, of course, kids are great negotiators, absolutely perfect negotiators, because they don't have all the bias. So they have their goal in mind. So they want this cookie, they want to go to the cinema, they want to play with their friends. They have their goal clear in mind, and they are doing everything to get to this goal. And so this is something we can really learn, because we as other adults, and also especially in the business world, we are losing this ability because we are thinking too much. Yeah? So we our goal is kind of blurry. So we have the goal, so we want, for example, the close, we want to have the deal, but it's kind of blurry because we are thinking about, well, all the buyers. We are thinking about possible things that the customer or the person we are negotiating with would say or could say. Of course, it's great to think about it and be prepared, but most important is to really have the clear goal in mind and go towards it. And of course, trying to find compromises, yeah, but have your arguments in place. This is really, really important, to have your arguments in place, and that's why it's more important to get prepared. So never, 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 never go into a negotiation without scripting out what your goal is, what your little steps are, or also taking under consideration, well, what could be the arguments against your arguments from the other side as well, and be prepared and have some arguments in your pocket, so to say. And there is nothing against it that you have your notebook with um, your papers where you write it down, and that you can also read from it. So there is nothing against it. So you don't need to be there and saying, of course, it's easy if you can do it, but sometimes it's also psychologically a good thing to look through your papers or say, well, I have done a research on this or that topic, and this could really help in this area. And talking about asking questions, so as Michael also says, many people are afraid to say yes. Absolutely, it depends on the culture, of course, but here in the European German-speaking countries, absolutely, yeah. So the Germans say yes, but, or the Germans say, well, I have to think about it, or the Germans say, it could be. Yeah? So there are many, many, many arguments where we try to find excuses not to say yes. So in the English speaking culture, it's more like, oh yes, let's do this, or let's try that out. So they are more open towards it. And I have the message that my mic is not good. That's bad. Let's have a look. Thank you for that. So let's see.
So does it get better, Carsten? So please give me a feedback if the mic is getting any better now. I have changed it, but thank you for giving me that feedback. So, and also talking about to be in control of a negotiation is to ask questions. So 10% you are talking, 90% the other person is talking. And how can you bring the people towards good communication, or how can you bring the people to talk more than you? Let them tell their story. Yeah? So you can use questions and also, cool, the tone is better. Great, thank you. So use questions and also try to figure out what are the pain points and also bring the people towards it. And if a person has a pain point, then they definitely want to talk about it. Yeah? So, and here's the question of the right question to ask so that the people are open and ready to give you the full story. So for example, today I was in a printing shop because we had to print something in high quality color. And the lady there, she was talking all the time like, oh my God, and she was telling the story about the difficulty of the situation for the shop. She was talking about the situation that some cars on the street were damaged by random people. And she was really ready to tell the story. And the question that we were asking was just, well, how is it going? How is the business? How do you survive? Yeah, and this was like a full story of half an hour. So if you would have the agenda to sell something or to present a solution to this lady, we would be in the perfect place for that. So that's why it's really important. Shut up, let the other person talk and tell the story, and try to figure out what are the triggers for the person to tell you this story. And of course, never concentrate only on the price. Of course, in negotiation, price is often, really often, a reason or the main point, but also most of the time it's not. It's the package behind. Or think about what can you offer on top, what can you deliver on top, or how can you find a compromise here. And this is also not only for business, also in private life. So if you are trying to figuring out, I don't know, like a practical example, you want to go with your spouse to a restaurant and you guys cannot decide where to go. Yeah? And then sometimes in some relationships it starts like a big mess. So how can you get out of it? So try to figure out, okay, what is the advantage of this or that place? And it could be like the distance, the travel distance to this place, or the last experience you had in waiting for the order or waiting for the bill. Yeah, so this could be some arguments to bring in here in private life. And of course, talking about business, there you have to think or bring up practical examples which can answer the questions of your customer, of your negotiation partner. And understand who is your negotiation partner, because if this person is loyal to you, it can really, really make a big difference. Yeah. So because of course, a person who is loyal to you is more open to find a solution together with you, instead a person that you don't know. So really try to figure out on which level you are with this person. And before we end today's negotiation talk, I want to give some 3 tips. Yeah, and these 3 tips how you can really be ahead or be in the game of the negotiation. First of all, is power. Yeah, power, and this means ask yourself, who are you? What is your status? What are your values? What style do you have? And which fears do you have? Yeah, because if you know who you are, if you know what your values are and your status and your style, and you are d'accord with it, and you can appear to the negotiation or to the customer, let me say it like that, then you show the power. because then you have a different approach how you enter a room and how the people are perceiving you. The other thing is information. And information is, of course, key in everything. Information about the market, the product, the economy. Research this all before you go into a negotiation or before you meet your customers. So this should be normally the preparation before you go and meet your customers as well. Know your numbers, so understand your numbers, know your numbers, also understand your margin game. So if you go into the discussion of a price, know your margin and also know your limits. So what is the limit of costs, prices, etc. you can go? Yeah, what is your limit? Because then if you know it, and if your customer or the negotiation partner is asking something below it, then you can again remember your values and say, well, you know, this is not what my value is, or this is not corresponding with the way I'm doing business. So this again gives you also power to step away from a possible negotiation partner. And the other thing is, or the last thing is, time, because you have to move quickly. So to be successful, you don't have the time to be really like sleepyhead, so to say, and be persistent and know the other party's timelines as well. So for example, if you are negotiating a project or a sales of a product or a service, know the timelines of your customer or your negotiation partner. Because, for example, what happened to me, I called the customer yesterday and they were telling me, well, you know, just 2 weeks ago, we have hired someone who is helping us with our branding. This was really wrong timing from my side, because the last time when we've been talking, I was not asking the right questions. So now I have to take the bill, so to say, for it, and I don't have the order. Yeah? So know the timelines of your customer. But also don't be afraid to ask for their timelines and their deadlines. Yeah? So you can ask them, until what time do you want to make a decision, or until what time do you need to make a decision if we can go ahead with this or not? Yeah, so this is really important, and you have to really to move quickly here, because speed makes the difference. And all this together, so after you have kind of agreed on a deal or closed it, or you have the negotiation ready, so to say, the most important thing is never walk away without a commitment and agreed timeline. So this is really crucial. So never walk away with an agreed timeline. So an agreed timeline for a second call, a meeting, or when the service starts, when the product is delivered. So I get a commitment, and the best is to get a written commitment here, so from both parties. And always when you are going out of this negotiation meeting, and then always send a message to the people immediately. So the moment you are stepping out of the building, send a message to your negotiation partner and summarize shortly what you have agreed, or if you have agreed on a timeline, send a calendar invitation or something like that. So, but never go out of a negotiation without a commitment. And if the commitment is that this business or this deal will not take place anytime soon, this is also a commitment, but schedule a follow-up on that, because you have invested time, and also your negotiation partner or customer has invested time to negotiate with you. So that's why it's really important to agree on a commitment, even though this commitment says, well, sorry, we are not working together. So be willing also to walk away from deals which are not coming easy, not working out, and because otherwise it's a huge time wasting in here, and will not help you, and will definitely not help your potential customer. And Mike is also saying, like, I love the saying, you have 2 ears and 1 mouth. Absolutely. So nature has already thought for us many years ago. So definitely use the ears more than the mouth. And that's also the keyword for myself to shut up as well for today. If there are no more questions, comments from your side, then I say thank you for tuning in, everybody. And if you have any comments, any ideas towards negotiation, then just leave a comment below. And if you are looking for a negotiation partner, or if you are just before an important negotiation in your business, then give me a call, and I would love to support you here and share more tips or create a customized script for your negotiation. So with this said, I say have a beautiful evening, and we see each other back next week, Wednesday, 6:30 p.m. Central European Time.